My twin brother approved of you. My mom approved of you. Then my leaders approved of you.
What if the love story you've been waiting for isn't found on dating apps, but written in God's timing? What if destiny isn't an accident, but a strategic divine appointment?
Then the third thing that the Lord asked me was, do you like him? I said yes. He said, okay.
I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into one of the most remarkable love stories, a union that defied geography, overcame doubt, and proved that when God orchestrates love, it's nothing short of miraculous.
I fell in love with a boy in
This is the story of how an American missionary and a Nigerian flight attendant became soulmates in just 5 months. Buckle up, because their testimony is about to revolutionize how you see faith and relationships. Before Jay met Blessing, he was walking through a season of divine preparation. Fresh out of college, he'd built his own landscaping business, but something deeper was stirring in his heart. He felt a longing he couldn't shake, a desire for connection with people who matched his fire for God. So he did what many overlook. He asked. He prayed a specific prayer, asking God to place passionate believers in his life, individuals with the same spiritual intensity he possessed. Within months, that prayer was answered when he joined a full-time missionary team. 7 traveling ministers, crisscrossing America, from city to city, state to state, preaching the gospel, praying for strangers, and building an online discipleship program that would eventually connect hundreds of hearts to Christ. He had no idea that one of those connections would change everything. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in Nigeria, Blessing was walking through her own sacred season. She'd recently surrendered her life completely to Jesus after exiting a previous relationship. But here's what made her remarkable. She made a covenant with God. She decided that purity, holiness, and complete devotion wouldn't be negotiable. She'd walk in consecration, not because she had to, but because she understood her destiny depended on it. Working as a flight attendant, she lived a life of discipline, waking at 2 in the morning for Bible studies, then heading to work at 6. Her commitment was unshakable, but in September 2022, something unexpected happened. Despite her stellar performance, layoffs came, and her name was on that list. That night, devastated but determined, she made a choice that altered her entire trajectory. Rather than panic, she surrendered completely to God's will. And that's when he spoke. Not in words, but in prophetic dreams so vivid, so clear, that she knew God was saying something monumental. A dream of giving birth, a dream of admission to a new school. Everything provided. Within days, she was fired. But the spiritual reality God showed her contradicted everything she saw physically. She didn't understand then, but God was clearing the stage for something extraordinary. Desperate but faithful, Blessing found herself scrolling through social media one night, and she discovered a leader from America, someone passionate about the gospel. She was captivated by his heart for ministry, so she reached out with a simple comment. The next morning, he responded. She didn't know it then, but this moment would redirect her entire life. That same week, he launched an online discipleship program. Blessing, with newfound availability from her job loss, became one of the first members. While others faded into the background, she remained active, engaged, and consistently present. She was so devoted to this ministry that God actually singled her out, elevating her to a leadership position. What she didn't realize was that someone was watching her closely. Jay had joined the team quietly, almost invisibly. He wasn't the type to draw attention. He preferred to observe, to serve from the shadows. But when one of his sisters in Christ showed him a picture of a beautiful woman from Nigeria who was serving with such diligence and grace, something stirred within him. He wasn't the kind of man to pursue women casually. His entire life had been marked by intention. He journaled prayers for his future wife. He turned down countless connections with women of faith, waiting for God's absolute confirmation. When he saw Blessing's Instagram, he noticed everything. Her flights as a flight attendant, her devotion to church, her commitment to prayer. But what captivated him most was discovering her teaching videos. She preached with a grace and wisdom that moved something in his spirit. So he did something he'd never done before. He reposted her content. He swiped up on her stories. He followed her with profound intentionality. Blessing, on the other hand, didn't even know Jay existed. He was quiet, present, but invisible. But one day a sister in Christ showed her a 7-second video from a church outing. In that fleeting moment, she saw Jay. Her first thought? He's cute, but more than that, she was intrigued. Who was this mysterious man on the team? She took a screenshot, a detail she'd later laugh about when she realized he was consistently viewing her stories, always the first person to engage with her content. When she started following him back, she made a profound decision. If this was part of God's plan, she'd know. She didn't need to chase it. She'd simply be aware and available. December turned to January and Jay found himself in California while the team was traveling. That's when he had a dream so vivid, so specific, that he woke knowing it held significance. He was on a stage, preaching to hundreds of thousands of people. His leader stood beside him, but behind him, floating in the spiritual realm, was Blessing, elevated above the ground, twirling in the spirit, surrounded by divine light. A dove hovered over her. She looked peaceful, joyful, completely at home in God's presence. He'd had countless dreams in his ministry, but this was different. This was unmistakably about her. That night, he texted her on Instagram. His message was simple but bold. "I know this is random, but I had a dream about you. Can we talk?" He asked for her number, and she gave it to him. When they spoke that evening over a regular phone call, not even a video chat, he shared everything. He told her about the dream, about the symbolism, about the peace he felt regarding her future. But here's what happened that made her pause. After the call, she saved his number. She put a butterfly emoji next to his name. She'd never done that for any other brother in Christ. She felt something shift: peace, comfort, joy, an inexplicable sense of being lifted. Throughout February and March, as Jay traveled and served with his missionary team across Latin America, and as Blessing continued her work and eventually joined them in Japan for ministry, their connection deepened through conversations. But Jay faced a profound spiritual moment. At a prophetic night in Japan, during prayer, he experienced a vision so real, so overwhelming, that it shook him to his core. He saw heaven. He was running through a grass field, overcome with joy. Then a powerful force, the presence of God, knocked him down. And in that moment of holy fear, God asked him a question that would define everything. "Can I trust you with blessing?" When Jay returned to the United States, he made a decision that confused Blessing. He suddenly became distant, less communicative, pulling back from their consistent conversations. She thought he'd lost interest. She thought he'd moved on. She felt heartbroken. But what she didn't understand was that he was terrified. The weight of God's question had gripped him so deeply that he was repenting of every casual moment, preparing his heart, understanding that this wasn't a game. This was his covenant before God. Then came June. Jay returned home, and everything changed. His conversations with Blessing became intentional again, more consistent, deeper. He arranged for her to meet his mother, a woman who already knew exactly who Blessing was because he'd told her, "This is my wife." His mother believed him immediately. One ordinary afternoon during a regular call, Jay simply said 3 words, "I love you." Blessing's heart stopped. She responded, trembling with emotion, "I love you too." There was no formal asking to be boyfriend and girlfriend. They were already living it. They were already committed. The confirmation came in multiple forms. His twin brother saw Blessing's Instagram and immediately recognized her as his wife. His mother affirmed her. His leaders, who knew them both intimately, said, "You're both people of God. This is a divine union." Even prophetic words kept coming. Man after man of God would prophesy over Jay, saying things like, "You're going to be married very soon," or "Your wife is a powerful woman of God." These weren't accidents. They were confirmations stacking upon each other. For Blessing, the confirmation looked different. She'd been confused because multiple people had told her things that contradicted her peace. But when she went back to a prayer journal from 2019 and 2020, she found something remarkable. She'd written down everything she wanted in a husband: his character, his spiritual maturity, his leadership, his love for family. She opened that journal, read through her list, and realized Jay embodied every single thing she'd written down. She also recalled an old prophecy: "You're going to get married this year." She'd written it down in January 2023, almost like a promise. And here he was, months later, the exact answer to her specifications. In August 2023, Jay made his announcement. He was coming to Nigeria in December to marry Blessing. November, December, 4 months away. Most would call it crazy. Blessing wasn't even fully ready, but they didn't hesitate. They did marriage counseling. They prayed and fasted together. They planned their wedding while separated by continents. They aligned their callings, confirming that their spiritual purposes matched perfectly. And when December arrived, Jay flew to Nigeria. They stood before God and witnesses, and they became husband and wife. Here's what their story teaches us. When you're committed to serving God, you don't have to chase love. Love finds you. When you walk in purity and purpose, God orchestrates divine appointments that no dating app could ever calculate. Jay didn't find Blessing on a dating platform. He found her in ministry. Blessing didn't hunt for a man. She was discovered by one while serving faithfully. They didn't do things traditionally, but they did them God's way. They knew each other's hearts, heard from God independently, received confirmation from multiple sources, and moved with holy conviction. If you're single and watching this, know this: don't despise the season you're in. Don't chase relationships out of desperation. Serve God with everything you have. Build yourself spiritually, grow in your gifts, walk in holiness, and trust that God knows exactly when and how to connect you with your person. Whether that's someone from your country or someone from across the world, whether you meet in church or on a ministry team, God's timing is always perfect. Jay and Blessing's union isn't just a beautiful love story, it's a testimony to faith, obedience, and divine strategy. It's proof that when two people surrender their desires to God's plan, He doesn't just give you a spouse, He gives you a purpose. He gives you partnership. He gives you a calling that's bigger than both of you. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through their story. If this testimony blessed your heart, if it challenged your perspective on faith and relationships, please hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel because we're committed to bringing you stories that inspire, challenge, and strengthen your faith. Drop a comment below. Tell us what resonated most with you. And if you want exclusive behind-the-scenes content and deeper conversations with believers like Jay and Blessing, join our YouTube membership. Your support helps us continue creating content that matters. God bless you, beautiful people. We'll see you in the next one.